We all know food costs too much at games, but what if I told you this slice and this beer and these hot dogs are all part of an illegal scheme perpetrated by billionaires?
I'm used to outrageous prices, but this is just a special kind of hell.
I'm at Madison Square Garden, not just for a mildly stale pretzel, but to
you're in New
meticulously
York.
catalog and quantify just how badly we're getting ripped off. All to prove a point. We don't have to live like this.
Okay.
Because there is something felonious about these francs. And something
What's wrong with them?
we can do about it.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. Listen, if you didn't eat before you went to this game and you decided that you were gonna be super hungry, I generally call these type of things idiot taxes, right? Like this is a stupid tax. This is a tax on people that are stupid, specifically, and didn't eat before they went there. Why are you going and spending $11 or $17 on a hot dog and a beer, bro? That is at least 60 cents worth of meat. Okay, just understand this here. But either way.
I should start with a story that for months now
That's
I've been
idiot tax,
obsessed
guys.
with. The story of a guy who is fed up with skyrocketing prices and unprecedented inflation. Not today, but 1978, when a high school teacher named Ron Gordon waged a one-man war against the price of a hot dog. And I think part of my obsession was this. There was something we've lost since Ron's day that held the secret for how we can bring down the skyrocketing cost of being a sports fan today.
Bro, supply and demand. They have food, you don't.
So I packed my bags for California to figure out what he knew and what he could teach us.
You haven't used the word crazy yet. That's good. I'm Ron Gordon, friend of Alec Opperman, who's out here from New York, thinking, what a mistake I made.
In 1978, Ron caught wind that the price of a hot dog was going up by a nickel at San Francisco's Candlestick Park.
A nickel.
Reason? A new health ordinance mandating that vendors wrap their wieners. That nickel.
Wait, hold on. Ooh, give me a second on that one right there, bro. Give me like 3 seconds of mental break on that last statement there. Okay.
Would pay for the labor and bring the total cost to
That's not going to break me today, guys.
75 cents. But to Ron, the math seemed wrong. He became convinced that the concessionaire, the Stevens Company, was pulling a fast one on Giants fans. And the owner, Bob Lurie, had his hands in the profits. He called everyone.
Ron, you have been, you lost a little bit of sleep doing this?
He called Stevens' meat supplier, got quotes on the price of the Doughboy wrapping machine.
I lost a lot of sleep. I spent a lot of time. I spent like 300 hours on this thing.
What Ron discovered was that Stevens would recoup their cost and a whole lot more.
The total amount of money which they take in would be $91,000, which is an awful lot of money, there's no question.
That's over $400,000 in today's money. Ron took his beef to San Francisco's Park and Rec Board, who could veto the price hike. One suspicious piece of math was just how fast Candlestick could wrap a hot dog.
They were wrapping 2.47 hot dogs per person per minute in 1978. And a year later, I guess they got some practice at it, slowed it down. They were only wrapping 1.6 hot dogs per person per minute.
So Ron, in front of the Parks Board, proved them wrong.
I wrapped hot dogs while I was lecturing them about the wrong they were doing.
You wrapped 12 and they could only wrap 2.7.
Right. I know Rec and Park was irritated with me. The more elaborate I got, the less pleased they were. I gave them every detail in every order that I had gotten from the Giants or from them. I mean, they were waiting for me to finish and go away, and then they could leave the hot dog prices the way they were.
Jack may be nimble, Jack may be quick, but the 5-cent bite continues here at Candlestick.
Ron lost this battle, but the Wiener War wasn't.
Bro, stop saying that right
because
now.
Behind
Wienergate, guys.
Was an understanding that his local government had the power, even the responsibility, to do something about this. It started with who actually owns and pays for stadiums. In Ron's case, Candlestick Stadium was built using public money. It's the same for many stadiums today. Even after they're built, most stadiums get mountains of your taxpayer money because they claim they're a public good. Take, for instance, Madison Square Garden. They get a special break on property taxes that has cost New York hundreds of millions of dollars. In fact, most stadiums are exempt from property taxes. And what are we getting in return for all the free money we're showering on billionaire stadium owners? A boost to the local economy?
They do.
Not really.
I mean, I would listen, I feel as if you bring a gigantic amount of people to one place specifically, who's going to make money? right? There may be people who decided to not spend like price gouged type of money on like a hot dog, and they would leave and then go to another restaurant locally, potentially. That's kind of how I would think here. And also like the parking things, guys. I mean, what do you mean they don't do well? It just almost doesn't make any sense. You're bringing thousands of people into a location. There are businesses that are going to be utilized that would have not been utilized if they weren't there. I don't know, but explain.
On billionaire stadium owners? A boost to the local economy? Not really. Study after study finds they are a terrible deal. And do we get affordable tickets? Obviously not.
No.
From 1999 to 2020, ticket prices grew twice as fast as inflation. One driver of the continued increases, dynamic pricing. But billionaires get a great deal, a license to commit highway robbery at the ticket booth and concession stand.
Stadiums used to have shame. The business culture across the board, not just in stadiums, has grown more craven, more opportunistic, more willing to take advantage.
11 and a quarter for a hot dog? A single hot dog?
PSA, don't get the double vodka lemonade at Madison Square Garden. It'll cost you $45.
Ron's 75-cent hot dog would, in 2025 dollars, cost you about $3.71.
Okay.
Today, in the same city, you'd pay $9 at a 49ers game.
Listen, I get it. This is terrible. All right. Let's all agree that this is terrible. But did you have food? Is what I'm asking here, like a serious question here. Did you eat before you went? Or did you see other people buying all these ridiculously expensive hot dogs, again, based on supply and demand? Guess who has food? They have food. You don't. All right. So you should have eaten before and not wasted your money on this nonsense. I'm just going to be completely honest here. All right. You have to know when to buy and when not to buy. OK, a bad deal is always going to be consistently a bad deal. It is your decision. It is up to you whether to buy it or not. If they were not selling them, guess what they would not be doing? They would not be keeping the price where it is. But people consistently go and then complain that they bought it. Don't buy it in the first place. All right. I'm sorry to go ahead and burst your bubble, bro. Like, this is the same argument basically of people saying, I want to live in New York City and I can't afford it. Then don't live in New York City. OK, I want to live downtown Chicago. Don't live in downtown Chicago. Do you get what I'm saying here, guys? You have the decision specifically, right, to decide what you want to spend your money on. If these hot dogs are expensive, I'm looking at them, I would never buy them, right? Like, this absolutely feels like, it looks like at least, like absolute idiocy. I'm not spending $11 on a hot dog. I don't care where I'm at. I'm going to eat before. All right. Call me cheap if you want. I'm not buying a $9 or $11 hot dog. I don't care.
Consumed by this glizzy grift, I reached out to this guy you've heard
Not
of
the
before,
glizzy, guys.
a lawyer and former government official who had some surprising news.
Charging too much for a hot dog in a stadium is already illegal under the prohibition on unfair practices, which most states already have on the books.
It sounds like price gouging.
When you're in a stadium, you only have one choice. And what that means is the stadium has effectively monopoly power.
Supply and demand. This is
These
the
unfair
argument
and
I was
deceptive
making.
practice laws can be wielded right now by state attorneys general, or even the federal government, to bring down prices. Regulators use them all the time for all kinds of behaviors that exploit consumers, like price gouging during natural disasters. But I was skeptical. If it's so clearly illegal, why has nothing happened about this?
Regulators and attorneys general have grown complacent. They've gotten used to the high prices in stadiums just like we have. I think it's just a lack of imagination, a lack of will. Corporate America has realized that they can overcharge.
They definitely can.
Enforcers aren't going to stop them.
It's not just lawsuits. State agencies across the country could write rules explicitly banning price gouging at the concession stand under these unfair practice laws. But there's an even more direct solution. Those terrible public-private partnerships that owners love to exploit. When I was reviewing Madison Square Garden's own financial reports, something caught my eye. This line, under a section called Economic and Operational Risk. The report highlights the danger of the government pulling their special zoning permits. They have to get renewed every 5 or 10 years. And their $43 million a year tax exemption. Now, wouldn't it be a shame if the city asked for something in return? Or any other city for that matter. We seem to be one of the few countries, in fact, that finds sports price gouging acceptable. In 2016, 10,000 Liverpool fans walked out of a match to protest £77 tickets. They chanted,
Yeah, but did you pay for it? Because if you did, then I don't care. I'm going to be honest, right? Like, I mean, you could be a fan of something but you paid for it. So you really think that the people who just made the money care at all? You already paid. It's like the ridiculous people who hear that a brand is supporting some like cause, for example, and then they go out or they burn something that was already kind of in their closet. They already paid for it, right? Understand this here. These people, it's ridiculous. Stop this, all right? It doesn't make any sense. That's what this looks like to me. You paid £77 for a ticket. They already got their money, and then you left. That they don't care, right? They don't care. It's a convenience tax, yeah.
To the team's American owners. In 2025, according to The Athletic, the most expensive ticket is £61, about $80 US. My Knicks ticket alone cost $277. That's about the same as the average cost of an NFL ticket. Meanwhile, many teams in the UK don't use dynamic pricing, they use fixed prices by seat, something New York's Mayor Zohran Mamdani has proposed doing for the World Cup, where a finals ticket goes for $16,000 or more. And in the UK, scalping is highly restricted. Others are picking up the Ron Gordon price-fighting torch. Lena Khan, the former FTC commissioner and current advisor to Zohran Mamdani, promised to use New York City's unconscionable pricing laws to go after outrageous concessions. Whether it's taxpayer dollars, use of public lands, or just enforcement of existing laws, most American localities have leverage.
We should expect cities to demand conditions. One of them that they can be putting into all of these contracts is street pricing.
A hot dog at that cart is $5. Now you go inside and a hot dog is $9.50.
Street pricing is the idea that the price of a hot dog inside needs to be the same as the price of a hot dog outside.
Okay, guys, listen, I'm sorry. You're not going to convert me here, bro. All right. So you're telling me that if you were going to go specifically to buy a hot dog and you saw on the streets of New York City, okay, you're going to be able to buy a hot dog for $5, but you said, you know what, I want a hot dog inside. And then now you're stuck paying $9. Bro, that is an idiot tax. Okay. That's it here, bro. You should have eaten outside. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry. You're not going to convert me here.
Which is the polar opposite of whatever Madison Square Garden is doing. As the Groundwork Collaborative reports, street pricing with no markup has been implemented in Portland's International Airport, and a few stadiums are already bucking the price gouging trend, and they're not going out of business anytime soon. The point is, we have the power to stop price gouging, even if our elected leaders pretend we can't or won't. That's what the Parks Board tried with Ron to shoo him away. But sometimes officials just need a little public pressure, or one dogged pursuer of justice.
They brush you off. What makes you want to keep going?
Because I was right. They're doing something wrong. And if nobody's going to help you, then redouble your efforts and do some more.
When the Parks Board didn't take him seriously, Ron went to the press. He took it national. He wrote and called anyone and everyone. He got a letter from the White House, and economist Milton Friedman told Ron to spend his time more fruitfully. But besides the rebuke from the Nobel-winning economist, pestering worked.
Sports Illustrated covered it a couple times. The Wall Street Journal did it. Sport Magazine, CBS National News.
You sound like you're about to say, give me liberty or give me debt.
Well, it's more a matter of give me fairness and give me my nickel.
Ron's one-man crusade finally moved the Parks Board.
You wouldn't blame Californian Ron Gordon for shouting hot dog. This week, San Francisco's Park and Recreation Board ruled that Gordon was right and they were wrong.
But he was one man fighting against one nickel in an unending march of rising prices. 47 years later, my total bill at Madison Square Garden was $638.53. $555.60 was 2 tickets, and those were the cheap seats. And the other $87.93 was food. For that much money, I could have gotten 2 round-trip tickets to Spain, where you can get a beer at a game for under $5.
So why didn't you do that? Listen, why didn't you do that?
You might be thinking, what's the harm in a $15 beer?
Right.
It's not an essential good.
So, exactly.
It's not
I'm looking for the harm.
Your monthly bills. But
got it.
We all deserve to live in an economy where you're not just scraping by.
Yeah, you're right. So be smarter with your finances.
That you actually have a chance to have joy and be entertained and go to a sports game.
Definitely.
You can live in that world. We used to live in that world.
Ron tried to keep that world alive, just a little bit longer. But he did so at a huge personal cost, mostly phone bills.
I spent over $3,000 fighting them on hot dog prices.
Do you know what that is adjusted for inflation? Because I've done the math.
No, I'm not going to give a refund to my wife.
It's $14,000.
Ooh.
How does that make you feel?
Broke, poor, but it was an investment in justice.
Ron hasn't been to a game in about 30 years. Even back then, the big money pouring into sports didn't sit right with him.
The heroes are in the stands. I mean, the heroes in society. So I got tired of it. And yes, it did leave a bad taste in my mouth.
You told a reporter.
The more I knew about it and the less other people did about it, the more it became my responsibility.
Do you remember saying that?
No, but good for me. That's the truth. And once you know that much, don't quit.
Guys.
To go make a difference for other people is important. I mean, I taught high school for 38 years, hopeful of making it a better world.
All right.
If you work in the...
Okay, yeah. Okay. You're definitely right. All of this is like legitimately a luxury. And again, if you do not have the funds specifically to kind of do these things, then why are... Guys, no. All right. If you want to eat food in a smarter manner. Let's just say this here. Eat before you leave. You don't have to do this. You've already spent a ridiculous amount of money on the ticket, guys. All right. You do not have to go to the movie and get the popcorn just because you saw it in the movie or on a TV show, bro. Eat before, or go to the dollar store, all right, specifically, all right? And then what's the next step here? Get all of the movie theater candy, all right? Put it in your pocket, okay? Buy it, obviously. Buy it, and then put it in your pocket. Guys, like, what's going on here, bro? It's not that serious. I'm sorry. I don't care that the hot dogs are nearly $20 or whatever it is, guys, in these movie theaters. But I mean, these stadiums. I don't care. I don't care that the beer is, the $10. I don't care, bro. I'm sorry. You don't have to buy it. Like, you have the ability, in the words of Milton Friedman here, guys. You can vote with your feet, bro. Okay. Please, I almost said Morgan Freeman. Wait, hold on. Either way, guys, vote with your feet. All right. Decide, hey, listen, I don't really want to do this here. So then don't do it. That's it here. You're fighting for them to lower the prices. You know how you can fight for them to lower the prices where they will actually, in fact, do it? Stop buying it. All right. Like, remove the demand for these things, and you immediately will realize, hey, guys, listen. All right. Do this immediately. All right. And I mean this here, like, walk away from wasting money completely in these stadiums, and I think you'll be completely fine, bro. All right. Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies, and I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry. Right? Listen, like and subscribe.